First look at Havoc OS version 4.1 based on Android 11 running on the Xiaomi Poco F1. Hey peeps, what's up? Munchie here, back with another video, and we have finally gotten a build of Havoc OS based on Android 11 for the Poco F1, and in this video we're going to have our first look at the build. As you can see, the version here is 4.1, Android version is 11, security patch is from January 2021, the kernel they are using is Silver Core version 8.1, build is from January 28th. SE Linux of course is set as enforcing, and do note this is the official build, and the build which I am using is the one which has Google Apps baked in. So out of the box you do get Pixel Launcher. Let us have a look at the recents. Bam, here are your recents. Everything is smooth. Select works without any issues. Screenshot, bam, three different options: share, edit and delete. And if you tap on share, it is going to open the quick share menu. Press and hold on any application and you can pin it to your quick share menu. Volume panel, bam, this is how the volume panel looks like. You do have the expanded volume panel, and a thing you should notice over here is that you can configure the ringtone for your notification messages explicitly or separately. Then you also have the live caption button here, and you also have the ringer mode button on top as well. As for the power menu, bam, there it is. That is how the power menu looks like, and you also have advanced restart options in the building. And yes, Bubbles works on this build along with the Easter egg from Android 11. An important thing to note is that WhatsApp currently does not support Bubbles. Next up, we can have a look at the Google feed, and bam, there it is. As you can see, everything is smooth, fast, no jitters, no lags. Access your quick settings. You do get the blur and zoom effect from Android 11. Here are the quick setting tiles which are available. Yes, you have a tile for gaming mode, you have a tile for FPS info, you have a tile for CPU info as well. In case you want to add more tiles, here are the other tiles which you can add. Tap on the three dot menu on the top right, and the only option you have here is for edit. Next up, screen recorder. Yes, does let you record internal audio and microphone at the same time. And once we've started the screen recorder, let us see if there is any lag in the UI. Nope, there is no lag in the UI when you are using the screen recorder. Another thing before I forget, yes, you do have the option of notification history. And while we are on the home screen, let us check whether Hey Google works or not. And as you can see on your screen right now, Hey Google is working with the screen turned on. Let us turn the screen off. Hey Google, can you please wake up? Bam, there it is. Hey Google works with the screen turned off as well. Next up, we can go into settings. First of all, network and internet. Tap on the Wi-Fi name, tap on it one more time. You have the option to disconnect, and you also have a toggle to auto connect on a per Wi-Fi basis. Next up, we have configuration center. We can talk about this later. We'll go into apps and notifications, choose any application, say Chrome, go into permissions, go into camera, three different options: allow only while using the app, ask every time, or deny. Other than that, you also have a toggle to remove the permissions if the app isn't used for some time, and this is 90 days for Android 11. Going to mobile data and Wi-Fi, you do have per app network isolation, so you can choose whether the application has access to Wi-Fi data, mobile data, background data, VPN data, or if you want to give it unrestricted network access, you can do that as well. Going to conversations, yes, you do have priority conversations. Go into notifications, you can of course enable your notification history, and yes, you also have Bubbles, which we just saw works without any issues. Next up, battery, thermal profiles, there it is. Once you enable the master toggle, these are the different profiles which you can set on a per application basis. Battery saver is present along with extreme battery saver as well. Then adaptive battery is there. You can configure the charging LED. Unfortunately, For the Poco F1, it is only white color, so you get battery light in DND and low battery indication. Those are your options, and guess what? Smart charging is also present on this build in case you want to use that, along with last full charge and screen usage since last full charge. Next up we have display. So in display you do have the option to enable or disable the dark theme, and with Android 11 you can turn on and off your dark theme at a custom time as well. Then you have night light, adaptive brightness, styles and wallpapers. Yes, here is the baked in theme, but you can always create a custom theme in case you want to. Here are the different font options you have. Here are the different icon style options you have. Then here are the accent color options which are available, and here are the icon shapes which you can choose from, and then feel free to give it a name and use it. Going to wallpaper, you do have the Pixel 5 exclusive Mandalorian wallpapers, and you also have a few live wallpapers baked in as well. Going to grid, you can choose between the different options which you see: default, 4x4, 3x3 and 2x2. And here are the lock screen clock customizations on your screen right now. Next up in display we have live display, so you can change your color profile, dynamic, standard or sRGB. You have a toggle for reading mode, works absolutely fine, and under advanced you can calibrate your RGBs and also reset them in case you want to, and you can also configure the hue, saturation, intensity and contrast, along with the option to reset those as well. Then you can configure your rotation along with the rotation angles, change the colors, natural, saturated, boosted or adaptive. You can change the font size, display size, the DPI can also be changed. Then what is the screensaver you're looking for? Moving over to lock screen, here it is. In case you want to enable always on display, you can do that from here. And you also have double tap to wake, accidental wake up, and what to do when device is in VR. Let us check double tap to wake. Bam, there it is, working like a boss without any issues. Next up we have sound. So in sound you can of course configure your volumes, then link and delink the ring and notification volumes. Go into vibration and haptics, you can choose your options for call vibrations, then in call haptics, touch vibration, and you also have the OnePlus style ringtone vibration patterns as well. Android 11 do not disturb, which can be configured on people, apps and alarm bases, also present over here. Then you can configure your live caption, your media player in your quick settings. Other than that, you can configure the volume steps for alarm, DTMF, media, notification, ringer system, and voice calls. And you have toggles for all the other options which you see, along with Mi Sound Enhancer as well. In terms of security, yes, IR face unlock is present on this build, and it is pretty fast. Unfortunately, you do not have app lock or dual apps on this build. Moving over to system, most of the options for system have been moved into Havoc customizations, but yes, you do have rules, so you can configure. Let's say you walk into work and you want your Wi-Fi to disconnect, you can do that. Or say if you leave home and you want your location to be turned on, you can set all those things in rules over here. Moving over to the customization center, the first option we have is status bar. So of course you can customize the settings for the clock, and you can configure the AM PM style, and then you can also enable the date and change the position, style and date format. Then in case you want to see a custom logo in your status bar, you have a toggle for that as well, and you can change the position and what is the logo which you are looking for. And as you can see on the top left, we do have a logo now. Then in case you want to adjust the brightness by sliding across the status bar, double tap to sleep on the status bar. Network traffic indicators are present. You can configure the location you want it in the status bar or the quick setting header, along with the display modes and the threshold and the refresh interval. Then in case you want a carrier label, and guess what, I think this might be an issue, the UI just restarted. Well, not able to recreate it, so not sure what's wrong. Then you can configure the battery style. You want portrait, circle, dotted circle, filled, text or hidden. Then in case you want to see a battery bar, you have options for those as well. Where do you want to see the battery bar? You can of course configure the thickness, the colors, all the customizations for the battery bar are present. Then what all icons you want to see in the status bar. In case you want to see small mobile type icon, you have a toggle for that. And in case you want to enable notification count, you have a toggle for that as well. Next up, we have customization for the quick settings. So quick pull down, let us change this to left. Swipe down from the left and it's going to be expanded quick settings. Swipe from the right, it's not going to be expanded. Then in case you want smart pull down, you have options for those as well. Next up, you have battery estimates, and if I swipe down, you can see that it is telling me my battery is going to last until 8 a.m. So this is the option. Then you can configure the number of tiles you want to see in portrait and in landscape mode. In case you want to display the title of the tile, you have a toggle for that as well. Then you can configure the footer of your quick settings, and this here is the footer, the settings icon, the edit icon, your running services icon, switcher icon, all these things can be customized from quick settings. Now another thing I would like to mention is that the text below the quick settings says that you can customize the tile layout, header image and background blur. However, I do not see those options in here right now, so my guess is they might add those options down the line. Then we have customization for the lock screen. So double tap to sleep anywhere on the lock screen and what all elements you want to see on the lock screen. So if you want to disable the quick settings and charging info, you have toggles for those as well. Next up, we have ambient display. So you want to show the battery level, you have a toggle for that. You can also enable always on display from here, or in case you want to have always on only while the device is charging, you have a toggle for that as well. And then if you disable always on, you can configure your ambient display. So do you want the screen to wake up for new notifications, music ticker, double tap to check your phone, pick up toggle, raise to wake, hand wave, pocket, all these options are present. And you can also configure the brightness for ambient display and for always on display as well. Next up, we have gestures. First option here is quickly open the camera by pressing the power button twice. Works from any screen. Then system navigation, three different options. Full screen gestures, two button navigation or three button navigation. In case you want to customize your full screen gestures, you can configure the sensitivity for the left edge and the right edge. You can configure the dead zone, and in case you want to hide the gesture bar, you have a slider for that. Go into additional settings and you can configure your extended long swipe action and the vertical left swipe action. So let us say with left long swipe, I want to take a screenshot, and bam, there it is. Screenshot works like a boss. You can configure this for the right swipe as well, and then you have a vertical swipe action as well. So let us say I want the volume panel, and now if I do something like this, bam, there it is, volume panel in the building, and it works for your right gesture as well. Then prevent ringing by pressing power and volume up together. What do you want to do? Do you want to go into vibrate mode, mute, or cycle through the modes? If you choose cycle through the modes, it's going to act like OnePlus's alert slider. Then you can customize your device controls for the power menu. Do you want to see advanced reboot or not? Then you also have quick torch. So when the screen is off, long pressing the power button will enable the torch. Let us test it out. Bam, there it is, working like a boss without any issues. Next up, we have skip music tracks. So long press the volume rocker to skip the music tracks when music is playing, and of course you can do this remotely on a TV or PC as well. And then you also have three finger screenshot, works without any issues as well. Next up, we have notifications. So in notifications, yes, the ROM does come with edge lighting, and you have multiple customization options for edge lighting. You can also change the color in case you want to. So either you can choose notification based, wallpaper based, accent color, or a custom color. Then you can configure your heads up notifications as well. So you can change the timeout, snooze timer, in case you want less boring heads up notifications, and you also have a stop list and a blacklist to disable heads up in specific applications or disable heads up from specific applications. Then you have the option to show a kill button in the notifications long press menu and play sound and vibrate for notifications when the screen is on. Next up we have battery saving, so you can suspend actions in case you want to. So let us say when the screen turns off, right, you want to switch to 2G or 3G. To save battery you can do that, or you want to disable the mobile data, you can do that as well. Then in case you want to block some sensors for specific applications to save battery again, you can do that as well. Then in case you want aggressive battery, you can have that as well. And in case you want to know more about this, feel free to pause and read the text besides the I. Next up we have media. So in media you do have adaptive playback. So this is going to pause the music as soon as you reduce the volume, and if you increase the volume within the timeout you choose, the music is gonna start playing again. Then you have music visualizer. You can choose where you want it, lock screen, navigation bar, or both. You can choose the render mode, you can change the colors, the width, all these options are present. Then in case you want media artwork on your lock screen, you have a toggle for that, along with the option to configure the artwork blur level. In miscellaneous you do have gaming mode. Once you enable that, you can block notifications, disable automatic brightness. What do you want to do with the ringer in gaming mode? Do not change, vibrate, do not disturb, or put the phone to silent. Then what is the gaming mode indication you want? Disabled, notification, toast, or toast and notification both. And in case you want to automatically add apps to the gaming mode, enable the dynamic mode toggle, or you can always add them manually. Do you want to wake the device when you plug in the charger, and do you want a charging animation or not? Other than that, go into about and you can learn all about the team from Havoc OS, the lead developer, the Telegram groups, the website, the Discord. All those things are present in the about page. Next up, let us have a look at Safetynet. So I do have Magisk Manager installed. My device is not rooted, and as you can see, Safetynet is passing. Let us go to the Play Store and you can also check for device certification. So here it is. Device is certified in the Play Store, which means you should be able to use your banking apps without any issues. In terms of YouTube media playback, everything works absolutely fine. No jitters, no lags. Live caption works without any issues. Picture in picture mode works. With picture in picture, do note either you need to be in a specific country or you need to have YouTube Premium for picture in picture mode to work without any issues. Next up, we can check for widevine support. So DRM info application, as you can see, widevine is set as L1. Let us open the Prime Video application and try to play a video. Let me continue watching this movie. I've been trying to finish it for so many days, but anyways, as you can see, there is no HD text near the timeline, which means widevine is broken, and of course you should by now know that it is Poco and Xiaomi to blame for this hot mess which we are having with L1 on the Poco F1. Next up, let us open the Google Photos application and try to edit a picture to see if portrait light feature is working or not. So let us first go into adjust, and right now I do not have the option, but let me go back, try to open this one more time, edit it once again, wait for this loading bar to finish, and now if I go into adjust, bam, here it is. Portrait light feature is present, and as you can see, it is working without any issues. Next up, let us open the YouTube music application, try to play a piece of music, and as you can see, your media controls in the quick settings panel are working without any issues. And if I reduce the volume to 0, the music paused, and if as soon as I resume it, it should start from wherever we left off. As you can see, this is your adaptive playback working without any issues. Next thing we can check for is the app opening animations. So here are the app opening animations on your screen right now, and as you can see, there was some lag initially, and I'm not sure why the lag was there, but there was definitely some lag which has now gone away. For the recents, bam, here it is. Everything is fast and smooth with respect to the recents, and we can also try switching between the applications, so no issues with respect to the gestures. And we can have a look at the Google feed one more time. Again, no issues with respect to the Google feed either. So the only issue which we saw together was a little bit of lag, which I'm not sure the reason for that, but it was definitely there. And now in terms of stability, well, unfortunately for now I cannot recommend this ROM because I have had multiple random reboots on this ROM, and one of them was while I was testing. So as you can see, it's checking for the IR camera and face unlock was not enabled, and there it is. You can see it is now in a loop. You will see the screen flickering with the boot animation, but nothing's going to happen. The device is not going to boot, and I will eventually have to perform a force reboot by pressing and holding the power button, and then we are of course going to boot back into Havoc OS. And another thing which I noticed is with IR face unlock, when face unlock is enabled, right, you don't even have to press the power button sometimes. So let us say I lock the device and then I just look at it and it unlocks without even having to press the power button. So somehow I think the IR camera is still active. Let us try to recreate the proximity sensor issue one more time. So this is happening when I go into configuration center and I have gone into ambient and enabled the option for hand wave. So here it is, hand wave working without any issues. There it is, the IR camera kicks in and bam, there it is. You can see we just recreated the issue. So unfortunately, either you have to try disabling that option in case you want to use Havoc, or from me personally, it is very sad to say, but right now I cannot recommend you to use Havoc OS because it does have some issues. And do note, this is the first build of Havoc OS, so I'm pretty sure they are going to fix these issues down the line. And there it is, peeps. That was our first look at Havoc OS based on Android 11 running on the Xiaomi Poco F1. And that will do it for this video. Hope my video helped you. Likes, shares and subscribes are appreciated. Feedback and comment more than welcome. See you when I see you.